Welcome to Japan Travel Stories, where we take you on meandering journeys through some of the most special and often overlooked places in Japan. Today, our journey will take us along the 196 kilometers of the pure Shimanto River to the town of Shimanto in Kochi Prefecture. Life in Shimanto follows the slow but gracious timeline of the seasons. Away from factories and highways, little hidden valleys glow green with rice fields, while the white mist caps the surrounding forested mountains. Kochi Prefecture is almost 84% forested land, and you often feel that, just beyond the trails and trees, one of the local kami, gods of the natural world, could be spotted gathering fresh sansai veggies or cooling their feet in a trickling brook. Living in big cities, it can sometimes feel like one day is very much like the other, no matter the season. Yes, perhaps it is a bit warmer or colder, sunnier or rainier, but the distance from nature makes us forget the majesty and comfort of the cyclical rhythm of the seasons and the lessons we can learn from the nature around us. Like anywhere, living in Shimanto has its challenges, but even after the harshest winter comes the spring. As the cold winter winds start to soften and the earth warms up under the rays of the spring sun, the riversides of the Shimanto start to brighten with new growth. People gratefully shed their winter layers and gather under frothy pink cherry trees for Hanami parties, or feast their eyes on the bright yellow Hana, canola flowers that stretch across the landscape, bringing a pop of color that announces to all and sundry that spring has finally arrived. The first early green vegetables start making their appearance, bringing a boost of energy and flavor to dinner tables across the Shimanto River Valley. And intrepid foodies head into the mountains to pick sansai, wild mountain veggies. But it is not all parties and leisurely strolls. Up on the hillsides, the rounded bushes of tea leaves are the site of a buzz of activity. Although tree farmers gather the fragrant leaves of their plants multiple times a year, the spring harvest is the most important. Tea, gathered around April and May, is called ichibancha, which means new tea or first tea of the year. In the spring, Kochi's land is at its most fertile, and this gives ichibancha the best flavor and fragrance. With the ease of decades of practice, tea farmers go up and down the rows, plucking only the tenderest new leaves and buds, and gathering them in large baskets to take the bright green leaves to be steamed, dried, and eventually sent out to discerning tea lovers all across the country. It is the fog that rises from the Shimanto River and collects in the valley that make this such an ideal place to grow tea. And you can taste the freshness and pleasing slight bitterness in every sip. After the gray skies and downpours of the rainy season, summer makes its official appearance. In Japan, summer is a time of festivals, firework displays, onodori dances, and cooling down by splashing around in fresh rivers and oceans. Because the Shimanto River is so clean, running freely from its source up in the mountains all the way to the sea, unimpeded by dams, it is a popular spot for local families and visitors to splash around and try out kayaking, whitewater rafting, or stand-up paddleboarding. Floating in the cool water, surrounded by the lush summer greenery and the sound of cicadas, you can easily forget about the real world, which seems far, far away. The pure river is the lifeline of Shimanto, providing a variety of freshly caught fish and aonori, a tasty green laver. Here, you can still witness traditional fishing methods like hiburi, where fishermen and women use fiery torches to scare sweet fish into their nets, or shibazuke, where bamboo leaves are tied into bunches and submerged in the river to catch eels and river prawns. It requires patience and skill, but many hands make light work. The little communities in Shimanto come together to help each other out in work and play. Thanks to this spirit, they can keep up traditions that have faded away in many other areas of Japan. Kagura is a Shinto ritual ceremonial dance, and the local version, known as Hata Kagura, has survived by being passed down from generation to generation. In June, young and old gather at the local shrine to see the dancers, decked out in elaborate costumes and traditional masks, dance to entertain the gods, as they have for centuries. As the fields of rice slowly turn to gold, so do the forests around Shimanto start glowing orange and red with the changing leaves. The chilly evening breezes are welcomed after the summer heat and remind the farmers along the river valley that there is work to be done to prepare for the cold months ahead. The bright green peppers, juicy tomatoes, and spicy ginger of summer are gone now, and people all along the valley start to harvest their pumpkins, satoimo, onions, and dark leafy greens. Chestnuts are one of the much-awaited flavors of autumn, considered a specialty of the region. The large, reddish-brown shells enfold the sweet nuts, which are transformed into indulgent wagashi, Japanese-style sweets. Individually wrapped by hand, these sweets will feature in well-earned tea breaks after an afternoon of harvesting and preparing the fields for winter. Respect and gratitude for the bounty of the earth is instilled into children from an early age. Every year at the Tokawa Elementary School, students celebrate the arrival of autumn and its bounty with a harvest festival. They pound rice from that year's harvest into soft mochi, and of course, enjoy eating the fruits of their work. They even carry adorable handmade versions of mikoshi, portable shrines, around the town to express gratitude for the successful harvest. The fields lay quiet. The riversides, which during summer and autumn were scattered with people fishing, swimming, or kayaking, now reverberate with silent splendor. Snow falls on the mountainsides and coats the landscape in a frosty white. After the busy spring to autumn season, it is now time to rest. People stay indoors, cozy in the heated low kotatsu tables, plates of inakazushi, sushi made with preserved vegetables, mandarins, and fish like amberjack and mackerel grace the tabletops, the flavors of winter. As the year draws to a close, the shrines in Shimanto prepare for Oshogatsu, the New Year's celebrations. On the evening of December 31st, all along the Shimanto River, groups of people make their way to the local shrines for Hatsumode, the first shrine visit of the year, to pray for happiness and prosperity and ring in the new year with a cup of warm sake. Thoughts start to turn to spring. The regular cycling of the seasons once again brings back the sunshine and fresh green of spring. After months of rest and indoor pursuits, everybody is very much ready to rediscover the outside world and start working. The most enduring symbol of this season, besides the beloved cherry blossoms, are the long lines of koinobori carp streamers that fly over the swelling waters of the Shimanto River. While they represent hopes for the health and happiness of children, there is more to these colorful streamers. Although most often seen slowly swimming around ponds in traditional gardens, in Japan, carp are actually considered symbols of strength, courage, and determination as they fight their way up rapidly flowing streams. These resilient fish remind us that with patience and determination, we can overcome obstacles to attain our goals. But in the meanwhile, why not sit along the river for a spell, under a canopy of blossoms, and rejoice in the abundance of the season and all the joys of the seasons to come. Thanks for watching, and we hope you have enjoyed experiencing a year in Shimanto with us. Be sure to subscribe to catch all the newest Japan travel stories videos and discover the hidden gems of Japan with us.